Okay, so I figured it out. There was a spelling mistake here. You can see I wrote it as Broswer. It should be like this, browser router. Okay, so our home screen, like slash home page, is this one. Okay, this one. Then you can put a link there. After this, you need to use these classes like columns is centered, is v centered. Okay, and here we can put a button. Yeah, I'm getting some spelling mistakes here. Go to see all two rules. Okay, so here before this button, we can provide this link tag, and then we can put this button there. As we're not going to use anchor tags, so link to you need to pass as slash all to dos. Let's see here slash all to dos. So we need to also add the button classes like btn is primary, button is primary. Okay, the class name is different actually. Need to go there, need to search for button. Okay, okay, okay. It's not btn, it's button. Okay. So here we have this see all to dos button. It points to this add. Okay, add to dos, not add to dos list. Yes, we have this overview. We have this add, and you to again add this lists. This is list the to dos page. Okay, it lists all the to dos. That's it. So we can close these saved ones to get a clear idea. Okay, so then after that, in r.js, we can create another route. Here we need to put the another slash list here, lists. Then we can create a component here in main. Okay, we have this list to dos. So lists dot jsx. Again, that plugin where you're going to use like React arrow function component exports. Then I'm removing that import statement is because it's not necessary. You just need to declare this const list equals to this is an arrow function, and here in app.js it's a normal function app. This is much better than that. We'll see how. Okay, we have this list. We need to import it here. Lists. Now they are automatically importing. You can see here. Okay, we don't have this home. Okay, we have this prisma.io. So we can see this routing has been added lists. So also in navbar we can put the link for the home page. We have to put, okay, instead of this, let's try like link link to slash. That's it. Then we have home. When we click on that home button, it will navigate there. Otherwise, what we can do, we can try this. How I'm doing this? By control down key. Okay. Then I'm getting this all the content. Let's try. Okay. No, it's not working properly. This case is getting shifted. We are reverting it back. Okay. Okay, we need to do this like trial and error. It's the part of development. So our home page is ready. Okay, our home page is ready. Then here we have this lists page. So we are going to develop that. Okay, close saved from app.js. Going to list it. So first of all, as a front end developer, we are going to do this project now. So we're not using any backend. That is for sure. So the data we need to create first, because when we are going to use the backend, we just need to write the request for that fetching that data. We will be having an API, and we are going to use the access.get, and then we're going to pass that URL, and then we will getting the data. But here we don't have that data, so we need to create a dummy data. Okay, so for that, what we can do, uh, we can write this as a variable data. Hmm? And it's an array because there is a list now. So inside the array there will be multiple elements. For example, to do. Okay, it's a to do, so don't write the name to do every time. Title will be dummy title, for example. Then we have description. Okay, so I will be writing dummy description. Then we have what we say is completed. That's it. It's completed as false. Is completed as false. This is our data. In this way, the API will send us the data. So this is title one, this is title two, description one, description two. Let's mark it as a completed. So this is false, or let's mark this as a true. So first task will be completed. Then we can show this list here. Okay, so let's say, now we're going to design this application as per the changes we are going to do in future. The changes are integrating the backend. So the whole application should not be changed because we are adding the backend. Only little parts should be changed. So for that, what we should do is we should create all the things, or we should pretend as we already have the backend. So our backend is this part. Okay, just think like that. So we are going to create a const. So here we have this, let's say, what we can say, to-dos, hmm, and set to-dos. We need to use the use state here, and then we are going to pass this data here. Okay, no, we're not going to pass it because why we are not going to pass it? Because by default the to do should have the empty state, because whenever the page gets load, it should have the empty state. And then what we are going to do is then we are going to fetch the data from the backend. So This is our backend. So how we are going to fetch it? By using use effect. So use effect has two things. The first is the callback function, callback method that gets called. Okay, and the second thing is this dependency array. So what this means is it has the dependency to particular component, particular method, or particular what we say use state. In our case, this is empty. This means whenever this page loads, it should execute only once. If we pass to do's, what will happen? Whenever the to do's changes, it will call this use effect again and again and again. Okay, this may be necessary for some other task, but for now, as we are going to fetch the list whenever the page loads, and the loading will take initially just for once. Okay, so we don't have any dependency. So what we're going to do, we're going to set this to do's with this data. That's it. So many times you will see this error, like this part. It says like React hook use effect has a missing dependency data, because we have used data and we are not passed data here. So you can ignore this, or if you don't want these errors to be shown, you can pass this text here. Like this is a comment. It disables these errors. Okay, we're going to minimize all these errors. Now we have this data, we have called the use effect, like this is fetching the data from backend. We have fetched the data, we have set the data to our local state, and now we are going to use this data. So here we can directly just to give this little margin 5, okay, and also padding, and then we can list it out. So we need to map it. For mapping, what we need to do, we need to do this. To-dos, as it is an array, so directly we can put a map. So this is a method we can apply for arrays. No matter it is a use state, it is a like any other use ref, or a variable. And this is a variable and this is a state. This is a hook actually, use state hook. Okay, this is also a hook. So the map method is not from React, it's from JavaScript. So this method we are going to use from actual vanilla JavaScript. So todos.map, so single and then we have this index. Hmm? So these are the two values. Okay, this map method returns. Okay, here we can also again we need to pass this and we need to call this as a method. This is little bit confusing, I know, but this is the way you should understand it, because the map is this map method is from start, from the beginning. It is not introduced recently, it is from start. So you can easily Google it out and you can understand it separately. Okay, so here it has this callback method. Okay, what it does, it gets the to-dos, it passes the single item. As we have, this is a single item, this is a single item. So one by one, it passes it to this callback method. Okay, and here what if we have this single item, so we can make use of this single item, and we need to return it because there are many things in map. We have to return something. For if you use for each, we don't need to return. As we are using this in JSX, we want few components from this data from this API to be displayed to the front end. So we are going to use this single item as a like a component in this UI. So this is a single component dash div, and here we're going to pass the values. For example, let's say we have this div, again another div. So this div has a name, a to-do name. To name, we have to again use this again we need to use this brackets, because why we are using this, because we have this JSX, and again we are going to use this JavaScript code, so it gets conflict. So to avoid this, inside the JSX we use this brackets to write the code. So whenever again we have this JSX, and inside this JSX we again have this JavaScript code. So the JavaScript code is single item dot, we have title. Single item dot title. We can copy paste this. Then we have description. Okay, and then do completed, status is there, we can pass it. So here the problem is it won't show the true, as it is a boolean. So the HTML or JSX won't accept that, so we need to add the condition here, like single item dot is complete is okay, is equals to, or it is true. By default we can put it as it is, but still we'll get the confusion, like true when completed. Okay, and if it is not complete, then not complete. That's it. So if we can see this in our UI here, this way. So what we did just now is, okay, what we did is we fetched the data. This is our data. This is the data that server sends us. Okay, by using this use effect. After receiving that data, we are setting this data into our local state, that is hook use state. So after setting, why we are going to use those two different what we say variables, because it is a mechanism of use state. What it does, it gives you two things. First is to do to use. Okay, you can directly use here, we are as we are using it. And when we want to update something, we need to use this method. So remember that we can change, we can give any name to it. Okay, we can give any name to it, no issue. After that, what we did, we used these to do's and we mapped it means we for loop, we run a for loop there whenever this component is loaded. When this component will load, as soon as we come to this page, whenever we come to this page, it will load all these things. It will get the to do's from here, and then it will map single element. So first it will pass this element here. Okay, it will place all these values here as we gave it to it, and then it will generate this return statement, and it will replace this part, it will replace this part with this first. Again the second loop will execute, this data will go there. Again this data dot title, the second data dot description, second data dot is complete will validate here, and then this second div will be generated, and again after the first div it will add the second div here. So in this way we will get this div. This is it, how we are going to list it. Okay. uh, the second part we can do is we can add the CSS here. So let's add it. Card. So here we have card. Okay, the suitable card we can get. Okay, okay. Okay, this card is good, I think. So here we're going to do the content. You can see this. We got these cards here. Okay. So what again we can do is we can give the little uh, columns there. add the columns here. So how we are going to do it is, as first we need to declare a parent as columns. Then again, each centered is v centered. What this means is, each centered will give a justify content center, and each centered will give the item center, if you know the flexbox. Okay, then we are going to add this uh, slash div, and here we have this class equals to is column is, let's say, 6. And then we have, this is the complete CSS part, so don't worry about it. So column 6 and 6, 12. So each row has 12 columns. So we are giving 6 for this. We are giving, okay. So here what we can do is, okay, column 6. Then okay, that, pass that. Okay, this is one component here. This is another, and this is third. So this is done. Control C, Control V, C, Control V, completed. Directly copy this part. Let's see how it looks. Okay, so it is in the center, and we have this. Okay, we need to make it as text center, I guess. Text has text center. It's not getting reflected. Okay. I need to check what is the class for that. Text center Bulma as text center. That's right, actually. See what we can do. Have text centered. It's not getting reflected. Okay, I will improve it. The UI part, I will do it. So here we can put it as a to-do name, dummy title, dummy description, and completed status. Then again, we need to add. Okay, this is, I think, enough for now. We can add little padding there. Margin of 2. Okay, close saved. Okay, we have this app.js. We have this list. So from home, see all to-dos. You can see from here we have this data coming from this backend. For now we can say that, and we have this dummy text, title 1, dummy description 1, completed status. This is title 2, description 2, and not completed. Okay, that's it.